What's up? Oh man, I don't even know what I wanted to talk about. I want to say first, hey, also, have you subscribed? I know I've been gone for a bit, but I'm back for 2019. I'm back for the 19 and 2020. I wanted that to sound more like juveniles. Back for the 99 and 2000, but it don't work the same way. So, yeah. So, your girl's been gone for a while. I'm just thinking, yeah, a lot has happened. I mean, how exciting is my life? I don't know. I don't feel like it's been that exciting. But I'm also one of those people that gets pretty bored easily. I read my horoscope and it always says that like Leos get bored easily. It's actually true. But I'm ready for this new year. I feel like I'm finally gonna get a therapist. And I'm excited about that. Also, yes, I'm still in LA. How's LA? One thing you need to know is that it is winter. It's cold. I'm cold. I'm cold everywhere, all the time, every day, all day, even in the daytime. At first, it was all sunny. It was all, oh no, it's never going to get cold. And then I'm cold, And after being in California for a while, like stuff that didn't used to affect me because I was like, I came from a place with snow. Now it does. So yeah, about that. Just started working at a new school. I really like it. I think I had talked about maybe last time that I planned on walking away from a job that I didn't want, and I did that, and I'm proud of myself. And I think it's hard sometimes not to be hard on yourself because you want things to be going quickly and you want things like your goals to get done. But like, and part of having goals is that it takes time and you have to plan, and those plans sometimes take a little bit longer than you expect. And like, I think sometimes we all can have the feeling of wanting this instant gratification, and that's not always the case. And you just have to be okay with that. But yeah, I don't work in a place that I didn't want to anymore. Capitalism is difficult and always will be difficult. And nobody can't act like that's not the case. Like, life is full of ups and downs. This is true. But also, capitalism is definitely freaking hard to live through. And we see like the tides like crashing and like this monsoon of like just what years and years and years of capitalism can do to people, and what kind of like the crash of capitalism can look like, which I feel like this is what we're living in right now. And I could share my personal beliefs about capitalism and like how I feel about it. But what I will say, I'll say this. Capitalism is hard to live in because capitalism is inherently built on the fact that someone has to be exploited or suffer. Like, there's the haves and there's the have-nots. That's point blank how capitalism is set up. Now, I can get in more into depth about all of these things, but I really don't want to, because my general point is that it's hard to live in capitalism, and it's hard to try to, just fight every day to have food on your table. And for people who have children, I just think about that constantly. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, whoa, like I couldn't imagine what it would feel like if I had children. Like, so every day I'm just thinking about that and praying for people because, yeah, not easy out here. But either way, like I was saying, didn't want that job anymore. Got out of there because I didn't feel like it was good for me. It wasn't good for my health. It wasn't good for where I saw it going. And I just had to be 100% like, nah. It ain't good for me. So I just began working. I have then started working for this really dope organization that I like and have really flexible hours and all that kind of stuff. But in particular, right now, I'm working at a school that is specifically targeted towards students with autism. And this is my first time working at a school. See, I had a little thing there, but it came out. Does that matter? Is it still cute? Okay, this is how my brain works. But either way, yeah, it's been so far a really cool experience. And I just, you ever like, how do I say this? You ever just naturally are able to connect with people, like, or naturally not be able to connect with people? Are you just ever able to naturally have a knack and talent for something that you also happen to be very passionate about? I feel like, and I still haven't put my finger completely on how I'm going to have all my heart desires and also work in education because it's not the most profitable. Also, it's hard to kind of like dissect these things in my head about like how I feel about capitalism and then like the idea of not being guilty for wanting more for myself, but also being like, and when I say wanting more for myself, moolah, moolah. I did not think about money as much as I've had to since I've moved to California. That's 100% the truth. And it wasn't because I had a ton of money. I just was living in a place that wasn't that expensive. But yeah, it's like this. This year I'm turning 30, and it's so incredible to see how much I've changed since I first moved to the state of California, and how much I've learned about myself and had to like dissect about myself. And I really am excited about really searching for and finding a therapist that's going to be dope for me. I'm excited about that because I think that it will allow me to even be even more in tune with my goals and my passions, and allow me to really reach them in a way that I haven't been able to, because I haven't been able to really, what I think about therapy is that it allows you to have sometimes like more of a clear mind because a lot of stuff is not weighing on you. So that's why I'm mostly excited about doing this, because I think it will allow my mind to have some free space to really dissect and work through and plan out efficiently my goals and my passions, and the reach will be extended is what I mean. Because like this is a year truly I want to focus so much more on my mental health. And I feel like in turn, in focusing on my mental health, I'll be able to attain my goals in different ways that I haven't been able to, caught in certain patterns. And it's like, okay, today I was, what was I on today? And I was like, So for all of these years, I've like lived in urban spaces, particularly ghettos, hoods, whatever the case might be. And sometimes I think it's a part of me that wants to do that to still feel connected to and vibrant, right? But also, I mean, yeah, no, not but also, it also just opens my eyes so much more to like what needs to happen in our government and what needs to be pushed for and what needs to happen. And it just makes me even more in mind of a militant person. And here's what I was saying. I've been reading this book. right? I'm gonna show you this book. This book right here by Elaine Brown. Elaine Brown is a pretty, I was gonna say pretty important person. No, she's a significantly important person to the movement of the Black Panther Party. Not that every single person who will, attribute it to the Black Panther Party was not important, but this woman here was married to Huey Newton, and not only was she married, she also just before then was heavily involved in the Black Panther movement, and at one point became the actual leader of the Black Panther movement once her husband was exiled. So what do I want to say about this book? This book right here, A Taste of Power by Elaine Brown, a Black woman's story, okay? Is so absolutely on point right now for my life that it's blowing my mind. So let me tell you some parallels here, okay? Elaine grows up in the hood, as I did. She's exposed to all this stuff because her working class mother wants her to be better. This is a typical story in a lot of Black families or just working class families in general. But what I can say, right? I feel so connected to this woman because she talks about like her early years of like being exposed to this stuff and still living in the hood and like what like kind of dissecting that does to a young Black woman and like, yeah, you're in these spaces with these white people, but like you're not white. Like, yeah, hers is a little bit different because she was like pretty fair skinned. So sometimes people would like think she was like, whatever, I don't care, whatever. My point is, I can relate to that, And then she speaks about just like being younger and dating white guys, and I can relate to that, right? Then she talks about moving to California in her 20s, and I did that. She moved to LA first. I'm kind of doing the opposite. She moved to LA, then she moved to Oakland. She's originally from Pennsylvania. But I just so heavily relate to that, her story, like, but also the idea of like what it looks like to like really find your calling and really step into your power. And also like her relationship to the men in her life, like I relate to that very much too. And all I'm going to say is this book couldn't have come at a more perfect time. And I want to shout out like my dear friend Co got me this book. And while I was in Oakland, and I just been reading this every day on the train, on the metro, on a bus, riding through LA, reading about her time in LA, and like being on some of the same streets that she talks about. Even though I know it's a completely different time, but in some ways it's not. That's the weird part. And kind of just understanding more why the Black Panther Party just was so revolutionary and like what communism and socialism can really look like for people, but also just like what capitalism really is and, how capitalism is upheld and all these things. But I'm ranting. The point is, read this book. Again, A Taste of Power, A Black Woman's Story by Elaine Brown. That's Elaine Brown, yeah. That's Elaine Brown. That's Elaine Brown right there. Look, I've only had this book for a week and I've like crumbled my stuff, So I'll be on the train and all kinds of stuff. Every kind of situation be happening on the train too. So it's just like maybe this book is a form of escapism for me, but like also it's not. It's also like this, like I haven't felt so attached to something in a while, and that just is like, that's so good. Like, it's the type of book you read, make you want to write a book like that kind of book, like that kind of book. You know what I mean? Like that kind of situation. You feel me? This look, I don't know what's happening here with my hair, y'all. But either way, like, yeah, like it's just too good. It's too good. It's great. It's amazing. And I recommend that book to everybody. And it is kind of redefining like some ways I look and interact with LA, because initially, not to say that I love LA, because I still don't really love LA, but it's like, yeah, it's just real people here, just also trying to live their lives. And, you know, walking through South Central, what South Central is now, you know, and just kind of being a part of it in a way, and going to my local grocery store and local laundromat and local places, it's like, whoa, you know, it also makes me think like, what do your choices look like? Like, and why do you make those choices? And how sometimes certain things in your life can play a part in, like, for instance, why I decide to gravitate towards, you know, the hood. Even after all of this talk of like, you know, you go to college and basically you're supposed to be leveled up. You're supposed to be leveled up. You're supposed to be walking away from all of the things that your parents didn't want you to be a part of. And here still I am in the hood. And it is by choice. So I think sometimes I do feel guilty about that too. I also like have a certain comfort in the space that I don't have in other spaces. Like, and I probably wouldn't, because like, what does the suburbs really hold for me? It's so manufactured, and it's just so, it's not me, you know? But not, it's like, I don't want myself to be so married to the struggle at the same time. Like, I don't want to be so married to like, this is what I know, so this is what I'm going to do. Right. Because in a lot of ways I do know better, right? But who's to say like what is better? It's so subjective. It's so I don't know how real it is. So I've come to a point where I've seen all of these different neighborhoods and spaces and people and had so many conversations, and it's like, how do I find a way to kind of sum this all up and be teaching for myself, but also how do I give back what I've learned for all the people that I've met to everyone else, and like be able to tell a story that's not me telling someone else's story or other people's story, but telling how I lived in the space. And like, this is why I suggest this book, because it does that, you know, it just does that. But I'm gonna write my own book one day, you feel me? And I'm gonna write my own book one day. I am. This is like possibly a rant, and it's like okay, because I actually use YouTube as a way for me to process, you know, what's going on. But yeah, it's 2019. I'm still in LA. It's getting more and more interesting, even though, I mean, I could tell the internet, I guess. I do plan on leaving soon, but I haven't really talked a lot about it because I didn't want to, and I didn't want like people to know my business. But this is not a long-term place for me, and I knew that when I came here, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say, but subscribe. There'll be more material coming your way. Also, if you have not listened to my podcast yet, the Black of the Berry podcast, I'm going to put the link below. you can listen to it. You could do that. You want to know why? Because it's good for you. And why is it good for you? Because I said it's good for you. And that's it. No. But I really use it as a means of hoping that other people can heal from my lessons and get something from what I put out there. That's always my intention. And I just wanted to kind of talk about how I'm feeling in the year 2019. And I didn't feel like mad people were excited for 2019. Like, I felt like this is probably like the most least superficial way I've seen people bring in a new year in my whole entire existence. Like, and I think, yeah, some of it is because people have been really tired from all of the things that have been happening in 2018. But also, I think it's because people feel like right now, this is like the most realistic point in our life where like all of this conflict is being embraced in a way that is meant to be healing, but also to make our relationships with each other better, right? And so some people might be like, oh, these people are so easily offended, right? This is like the age where people love to say that. People are just so easily offended. Back in the day, oh my God, like, all this stuff, right? And the fact is, I don't think people are more offended. I just think people want to be held and taken care of and seen like they haven't been. And like, I don't necessarily think that's a horrible thing. So I'm not mad about it, like, because I get it. But I also understand the people who are doing the pushback because change is really difficult and hard. And if you're used to things being a certain way, and if you're used to being able to use oppressive language and things that contribute to people's, to violence towards people, then it is going to be like, wait, excuse me, you're taking away my right to like contribute to other people's oppression. Because also that's what capitalism is about. But I kind of feel like I shouldn't even post this, like 100%. Like I shouldn't post it, mainly because I don't know how entertaining it's going to be. And like, it is important to me that I entertain people. Also, it's like I'm getting used to like being like, yo, I'm also okay with doing this for myself, right? What do you call that? Selfish? Oh my God, what is that? You know how you want your hair to like lay down? How we can straighten this thing? It just want to be poofy. Poof, poof. But I hope that everybody's 2019 is going well. And I hope that it continues to teach you many lessons. And I hope that you take every day, one day at a time, because it's hard to try to take one day like it's 5 days because, you just can't plan for things all the time. You just can't. And that's really all I have to say. But just wanted to give you an update on my life. Oh yeah, I haven't gone on a date in 2019. Oh, I should probably say this. I kind of did shoot my shot today. I'm not going to tell you about that because I don't know if this person watches YouTube. But basically, I thought he was cool. So I Snapchatted him, and that's all I'm going to say. And he hasn't written me back yet, I don't think. I could go get my phone and see, but hold on. Let's see. Actually, my phone is here. It's right here. It's right here. Right? No, it's not right here, actually. Okay, hold on. Hold up. Oh, grandma. I'm a grandma. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we about to see if he wrote me back. Let's see. Oh my God. Also, my phone literally is done for y'all. Like, I didn't get no write back. He didn't write me back. It's okay. It's just fine. It's okay. It's okay. Ah. Okay, that was weird. I'm just really that weird. Okay, but yeah. Now I feel weird because yeah. Okay, but yeah, I did that today. Maybe he'll write me back, maybe he won't. Maybe the next time I make a video, y'all know if he did. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if I should be trying to start know anything with anybody in LA or California, especially because I'm about to be gone and I ain't playing with you. Yeah, my time is up here. Certainly up. It's kind of been up, but I was pushing it. Because I push all the time. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all I had to say. It's 2019. I'm still in LA. I'm about to be out in a few, but while I'm here, I plan on working my butt off because I need to save mad money, and that's it. Update. Okay, that's creepy. I don't know why I'm creepy. Okay, really, I gotta say bye this time. I'm gonna say bye this time. Bye. Maybe I'll keep this video up. Maybe I won't. Until then, watch some more videos of mine. Also, peep and check out my podcast. Got some new content coming soon. Okay, boo-boos? And until then, enjoy your life. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your weekend on this beautiful, beautiful Friday. Yes.